I did not want to get back on here because I told y'all, if you didn't watch the live that I did, the last thing I talked about this season, this cast, was when Ace talked about Nick Olandria being PR. My opinions on that don't matter in this moment in time because that's not what we're here for. But that was the last time I was going to talk about this cast. That was the last time. But leave it to that girl who I don't follow to find her way on my feed. And y'all know, I mean, certain shit like this, I'm going to always speak up against. I'm going to always speak out. And of course, I was going to do it. Like, I wasn't going to talk about it when it came out, besides what I put on my community page. But the more I sat and watched, the more I'm like, I got something to say. And y'all been asking me to do a video, so I'm going to do it. So if you're new here, hit subscribe. Do that real quick. If you're not new here, you already know what to do. You already know what to do. Thumbs up the video. Get in the comments. Also, this is new. Hit hype. Hype the video. Hype the video. Share the video. We're going to get into that loser, that victim, that racist. Let's call it what it is. Let's call it what it is. That tap dancing raccoon. Y'all know who I'm talking about. And then we're going to get into a lot more discussions in reference to that. But yeah, let's go. So if you have been living under a rock or luckily have not seen what we're going to talk about, what everybody's been talking about, Huda, she who has spent, every time I see her on my feed, she's always with Louis. She's never with her child. Let's talk about that. Like, people want to say, oh, well, you don't know. I see her with that man more than I've seen her with her child. Granted, she don't have to put her child on the internet, but we know that child is not with her. Let's keep it real. She's always on live. She's always on TikTok live. You don't even have to follow her and you're going to see it. But the thing is with her, that's so... she's stupid, first of all, because like I told y'all, I said it all season. She needs to go home and love herself before she decides to get in a relationship with somebody. But of course, she got off the show and immediately ran to Louis, who Louis is a clout chaser. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it all the way real. We're going to get into their little apologies and whatnot. But he's a clout chaser. He knew she was popular and he attached himself to her. Do I think he's doing this for his own social gain and his also helping him out in his own career? Yeah, absolutely. But I was going to say maybe it's not going to help his career, but then again, he's a light-skinned man, so I don't really think, and then he's attaching himself to somebody like her, I don't really think it's going to do too much damage to his career, but it should. But these two, she got off the show and immediately ran to him, has been with him the entire time. She's not worried about being a mom. She's not worried about her kid. She's worried about continuing to do things that we talked about, how she claimed on that reunion that she was putting in work to be better, and she's even worse. She's gotten even worse. But if you've been under a rock, you don't know, Huda and Louis were on live. I think it was TikTok live. What's today? Thursday? It was Tuesday. I remember seeing the clip show up on my feed before it really blew up and got on social media on the Shade Room, all the blogs and stuff, of her and Louis. I didn't see the full live, so I don't know exactly what happened before that, but I saw what I needed to see, which was her and Louis. They were on TikTok live. Apparently a fan must have been calling her. How they got her number, I don't know. If it's I guess a fan phone that she called, or at least I guess gave people the number to call her, whatnot. Regardless, there was a fan that called. And I find it quite ironic how the one time that you answered the call, put the phone on, she claimed that she didn't want to put it on speakerphone, but we clearly heard what was being said. So is it really not on speakerphone? But they were playing music too. And not only that, the music then decided to shut off, which I'm assuming one of the two of them was turning the volume down to hear what was being said. But it was funny because Louis like, don't put it on speakerphone because they might say something crazy. Yet y'all turn the volume down so that we can hear what's being stated. And it sounds like it's a child on the phone. My sister thinks, and I'm not doubting it either, because I wouldn't put it past her. Could be her own damn child if you asking me. If you asking me, it sounds like a kid. Calling Olandria an Nigger. Calling her a nigga is wrong, first of all. But to go straight for the hard ER is even crazier. But what's even more crazy, it's not shocking to me though. It's not, none of this shit is shocking. We all clocked her. Y'all know I've been clocking her probably from episode 1 or 2. Like, shout out to the actual content creators that have platforms. Tammy Talks, Jamie That's Me, Roxy Says, EJ Johnson, Jessie Woo. Even though Jessie Woo in hers, she did state something that kind of set some people off. Keep it on track, but she called her out as well. Who else? Blue, Elise, Shit, Movie Bay, all of us. So many of us that denounced this shit when it came to the way that she was so dangerous when it came to these. I be chilling. Like, I'm just literally thinking of every single person that have used their voice that are black first and foremost. But not only that, there's other people that were not black. I've seen a lot of white content creators, a lot of other content creators of the other races denouncing her bullshit. But not only that, we've got a lot of black people that back her. And y'all know whenever the shit was happening, whenever they started trying to call Shelly and Olandria bullies throughout the season, y'all know I was the first one on here talking about, like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Why are y'all doing this? Y'all don't know how dangerous this is, how it could end up being the way it has been, as we've seen how Shelly and Olandria have been on the receiving end of death threats, racism, all that shit. So I'm not shocked considering how Huda moved, because the same people backing her are the people that she don't give a fuck about. The same people backing her, if they would have got caught in NIGGER, she would have done the same thing that she did on this call. Her and Louis started laughing. The first thing they did was start laughing. When you hear somebody call somebody the NIGGER, the first thing you're going to do is laugh. Anytime a racial slur is being thrown anybody's way in reference to anybody, the first thing you should not do is laugh. And if you're laughing, it's because you agree with it. You're laughing because you're racist. You like that. And that's what I stated. When it came to that reunion, when they were addressing everything that she didn't do in reference to trying to denounce the racism that Olandria had received, Shelly had received, how she had every excuse in the book as to why she didn't want to do it. Oh, why I didn't have the time for doing this and da 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 da. Like, come on. You didn't talk about it because you agreed with it. And I said that shit in the recap at the reunion. This right here proved it. Because you sitting here laughing and then you want to sit here and act like you didn't know what was said. You knew what was said, because why the fuck are you laughing? If you didn't know what was stated, why would it make you laugh? Why would it make you laugh? If you didn't know what was said, you wouldn't be laughing because you didn't know what was said, so you wouldn't know what was funny. So then Louis, you also, I'm not shocked about his punk ass. He's always been a weak loser to me. You're black. If you're new to me, you don't know. I don't play with them with that coonery. Like, that, one thing I hate more than a racist is a coon. You hate yourself. Like, you're with a woman who does not like black women. That's just really what it is. She builds her platform. She tries to act like what she deems black women to act. The way she sits around and tries to act black. Like, let's call a spade a spade. She uses AAVE when it comes to being around black people. You could tell the difference. I can't stand it. But I can always see when certain people, like Isaiah from Love Island Games Season 2, if you watch his original season, that AAVE came out too. Trying to talk black when you're around black people. She dibbles and dabbles in that. Not only that, she goes around calling men bitches and calling black men bitches. And the way that she moved in that villa, there is literally footage of her treating black women differently than she would with anybody else. Like, when it came to certain situations, she knew to turn them tears on and make herself the victim when it came to having conflict with black women. Olandria, Shelly. When she had conflict, she turned them white woman tears on. When she had conflict with Hannah, when she had it with Iris, was she turning them tears on? No, because she knows what she's doing. She's not stupid. She knows what she's doing. Just like she knew what she was doing on that live. When she got on that live, turned that phone on, and sitting there, and then she looks at Louis. Oh, she said a bad word? She said a bad. You know what the fuck she said, and you laughed about it. And then Louis, like I said, you're a coon. Like, one thing I can't stand more than anybody is a black person that does not stand for their own culture. And that you will never win with me. You will never win with me. So they decide, because as rightfully so, caught wind, they got hella backlash. I'm glad all of the platforms, the big ones, Shade Room, the Neighborhood Talk, Spiritual World, put them all on blast. As they should have. And of course, it got to other people, and the cast members started to speak out. We'll talk about these apologies, and we'll talk about the vocalizing of how they feel about this situation. So we're going to talk about this now. We're going to pull the screenshots. All right, so Huda's up first. So this chick gets on her Instagram. In the picture, it's funny too. Like, you always got to add yourself in it to try and act like you give a fuck about what's going on. Like, you're using, this is what I'm talking about, that victim tactic. She wants somebody to feel bad for her when you're the one that's in the wrong. But she says, y'all, first of all, clickbait. Let's talk about the punctuation, the lack of punctuation. Y'all, first of all, clickbait using a sensitive topic is actually insane. What about what you did was clickbait? It happened. They clipped it and they actually put it out there because it needed to be seen. So she says, me and Louis and I did not hear what was said in that no caller ID call on live. You heard what was said. Both of y'all did. Y'all laughed immediately. Immediately. As soon as the ER came off of the NIGG, y'all were laughing. Y'all knew what was being said. It's always an excuse with her. But she then states only the racial slur, which we hung up immediately, which you did not. You did not. We can watch the video. It's like she does this same shit. She did the same shit on the show, and some of y'all still ate the shit up when y'all literally can see what was being done, and y'all still believed her bullshit. But she then states that I don't condone anything of the sort. Whoever called purposely continuously called while we were on the live, which you didn't have to answer. You could have turned your phone on Do Not Disturb. I'm pretty sure you got 8 different phones, so you didn't have to look at that phone. But she then states that I really don't condone racism, which is why it was immediately hung up on, which, again, it wasn't. But once again, we did not hear it very well. You did. Nothing but she's not taking any accountability. She said we didn't hear it very well considering it sounded like a child. Only the last slur. What last slur? There was only one slur. What you mean the last slur? I just wanted to address this before it blows out of proportion. It didn't blow out of proportion. You only want to address it because it blew up. It blew up. It got everywhere where you didn't want it to get, and it got where it needed to get for you to finally start, oh shit, I fucked up. So then she goes again. Also laughter, because it was awkward. There was nothing awkward about that. Everything that happened was weird, especially from you and Louis. So like, who the heck says something like that, say something offensive like that on a call on his live, and you can also hear me say, what did they say? You're making more excuses? Like, what? That doesn't change anything. And then she states that they said a bad word, because that's all I heard was the bad word, which, you know, the bad word was the NIGGER. So you heard it, which completely negates what you stated. But it was awkward and inappropriate, and whoever said it was in the wrong. You said it yourself. Let's call that. Let's call that out. Y'all, a lot of people, when that TikTok came out and people were swearing up and down she didn't say the N-word, it's clear she said it. Her mouth moved and she said it. And we all know she says it. We could tell when she was calling Jeremiah a bitch ass. You know, she want to say you bitch ass nigga. Like, she probably done said it to so many people in her lifetime. She wanted to state it so bad. You could tell she did. I'm tired of the excuses when it comes to her. I'm tired of the tap dancing from all these fans that get online and be caping for her. Caping for her. It's crazy, especially the black people. That's what be the most, that's what be tripping me out the most. When it comes to shows and stuff, like this show, the baddie show, where you got white people on the show saying the N-word, and then you got black people online literally backing them up, going at black people for defending their own culture, yet you want to defend somebody who don't give a fuck about you and would spit on you. Like, get out of here. So we're going to move to Louis and his stupid ass apology. And he goes, start off by stating, don't condone no racism, but something happened on my live with a prank call and someone said something in a slur with 3 R's. Where's the punctuation? I laughed, then hung up because, look at the way he spelled cause. All I understand was the slur, but now finding out that there was a name in front of it. So fuck the slur. You just only care because there was a name in front of it. But we didn't hear that lie. So just want to state that as much as people want to call me a clout it's all about excuses with these two. They were meant to be together, honestly, because they moved the same way. It's all about me wanting to be a clout chaser, which you are, and all that bullshit that I realize that I really hate the Love Island fan base. And as a black man, here you go. As a black man, yet your black ass sat on that damn live and laughed about another black person, a black woman getting called an NIGGER by somebody that was clearly not black on that phone. Sitting there with your not black girlfriend who loves stuff like that. She does. She loves it. But now you want to pull as a black man. No, you got that revoked. Like, you a coon. Like, get to tap dancing. So as a black man who's experienced enough racism all my life, I don't even want to give the person that said the slur the satisfaction that they get from this. But I have to come here and say something because it wasn't what we heard. You're giving them the attention, and you gave them the attention when you was laughing on that live. You basically told them by that laugh that what they said was okay and you enjoyed it. So they're probably out here calling everybody else the NIGGER too. But the whole as a black man, like, shut up. Just shut up. You know who you're dealing with. You knew who you were dealing with when you watched her on the show, when you waited for her to get off the show so you could slide on in. You sat and stayed with her when she continued to do this stuff. to your culture, to your culture. But now you want to pull as a black man to get some sympathy. Like, please be for real. Be for real. This is coming from a black man that actually stands 10 toes behind his culture, unlike you. All right, so fuck them. Let's keep moving to somebody that actually matters, who it actually affected. Olandria. So she went out and she spoke out. She states, I don't condone racism of any kind. Of any kind. Nor do I entertain it. That kind of language is never acceptable, not in anger, not as a joke, not ever. And that's what a lot of these people that get caught, oh, I said it and I was angry when I said it. Are you trying to make, is that an excuse? Like, be for real. But words like that carry generations of pain. Hello? And pretending otherwise only keeps the cycle going. Hello? Defending it, black people, laughing about it, or making excuses is even worse. I will not let this moment derail my purpose of uplifting my community. Shout out to her. I'm standing firm in who I am and using this as an opportunity to call for real accountability and awareness. We all have a role in building a culture where speaking to one another with respect is the standard and where speaking against hate speech is the bare minimum. It's that simple. It literally is that simple. So while I appreciate this, while I anticipate that this, I'm trying not to laugh as I'm reading it because I know what she's about to say. While I anticipate this will result in surface level apologies, which she clocked it because what I just read was that. But yeah, while I anticipate that this will result in surface level apologies that fade in a few days, which she's not lying, I'd like to, and basically what she's stating is y'all gonna have the energy for it then, but y'all not gonna stand on that shit. But I'd like to transform this moment into something actionable. I encourage those who have participated in the stream and their followers to demonstrate a genuine commitment to anti-racism by donating to organizations and foundations dedicated to educating and uplifting this community, such as the UNCF, NAACP, and or do them all. The Thurgood Marshall College Fund. I will be making a personal donation as well. In the next slides, I'll be sharing donation links to contribute in support of HBCUs and underfunded educational resources for black students. Shout out to her. Shout out to her. Olandria is strong. Like, she's been on the receiving end of many of these racial comments, attacks. It's crazy. And not only her, we're going to move to Shelly too. Because shout out to Shelly, because I know, we all know, it doesn't even have to be spoken. We already know there is some type of tension between her and Olandria. In my personal opinion, I feel like it's very much fan-driven on one end, but that's not important right now, so I don't really care to address it. Both of those women stand 10 toes down, and I appreciate both of them actually speaking their piece, not being afraid to speak their piece. And Shelly, even though there is a little bit of dissension between the two of them, she still, and I still feel like out of everybody there, I feel like she's the realest one from that cast. I said it on Twitter a lot here recently. She's moved in a way out of everybody from this cast that I feel like I respect the most. She gets a lot of hate based off of shit that she didn't even do. People take out their issues with Ace and other people out on Shelly. For what reason, I don't know. It's weird to me because she ain't do it. But she, like I said, knowing what happened, and she knows, regardless of how her and Olandria are right now, she knows she needs to stand up, and she knows she needs to defend her, not only just because that is somebody that she, I don't know if they're still friends or not, but somebody that she did care about, but she's also one of her sisters. She's black. So Shelly, let me find it real quick. Hold on one second. She stated, seeing what happened with a former Love Island castmate and her partner, don't even say her name, laughing during a prank call that included a racist remark towards Olandria was disappointing to say the least. Racism isn't a prank, it's not entertainment, and it's definitely not something to laugh at. As a black woman, it's painful to watch moments like this play out so casually because it shows how normalized disrespect and ignorance can become when people choose silence or humor over accountability. It's that simple. Having been on the receiving end of hate and racial comments, I know how deeply that can cut and would never wish that pain on anyone. Any form of racism should always be checked right away. There's nothing awkward about racism. It's disgusting and disheartening, and I will always speak on it. Not make light of the moments like these, There's a bigger message here. Use your voice and stand up for what's right, no matter the time, place, or who's watching. As always, love and peace. 1000% agree. Because again, I didn't even talk about it here right now, but if you've watched me throughout the season of Love Island, I got called an NIGGER in my comments plenty of time in defense of these women. Plenty of time. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't hurt me. But one thing you're not going to do is do it with me. But the people that do it, they always do it on social media. They will never be bold enough to say that shit in your face. Because the minute you say that shit in my face, you're going to be eating my fist. Like, shit like that it's crazy to me how people get so bold to say stuff like this. It's crazy. But I'm not going to get into them stupid apologies that clearly Huda either got Chat GPT to do it, or her publicist or her handlers, whoever. They made her and Louis go out and drop another one, which still was some bullshit. But I made this whole video because, as always, if you're black and you sit back and don't state shit and don't speak up when it comes to shit like this, for real, when it comes to your culture, you're the problem. You're the problem. And I stated it during the season, it's extremely important for people that have platforms, that have people that watch, no matter how many you have watching you. It is extremely important to use your voice to protect your own people, because we are the most hated people in the world. Let's keep it real. Black women are the most hated. Black men are right there next to them. So when you have people that target us for no reason, and you sit and defend them when it's clear that they're wrong, you're doing more damage to that community, and that's the community that you're in and you're a part of. You're doing more damage than you're doing any good. You're setting us back. So it's important to use your voice. I didn't want to come on here and talk about this, but I had to do what I stand for, which is to get out here and vocalize it. I know a lot of y'all that watch me stand in the same mindset with me, which I really, really appreciate. I love y'all for actually using your voices as well. But those of y'all that don't, wake up. Wake up. Like, this type of shit happens. It's 2025, and the fact that this shit, it's almost 2026, and we still talking about this type of shit. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. But if y'all new here, hit subscribe. Thumbs up the video. Get in the comments real quick. Subscribe if you're new, and I will see y'all later. Peace.